total well-being, your daily life, your health, the food you eat, everything that you have to take care of, other than your studies. So I think that's something you should really plan about in advance. Um, the day in my life, CS especially has, so I know that some courses have just a couple of classes every week, so they sometimes do have off on a couple of days. CS technically does not go like that. So if you're taking like a normal course load, like I would take 5 to 6 courses, sometimes even 4 courses every term. Courses are not just normal classes, but they sometimes have lab component as well, or a tutorial component as well. So you pretty much have classes every day for a couple of hours. Or if it would not be every day, it would be more hours on the number of days you have classes. So it works like that. It's rarely the case that you go to campus just twice a week for 1 hour each and then you're done. That I think is very different from other courses. Um, and yeah, as I said, you have constant quizzes, assignments, and stuff other than lectures as well. In CS, yeah, did I miss on anything? Let me know if I missed on anything and I can go back again.
Nope, I think that sounds good. Okay. I'm gonna ask this question to one more person and then we'll move on to the next question. So if you'd really like to answer, just put up your hand and I'll just let you take the floor. Okay, then. Feihan, would you like to answer this question as well?
Yeah, for sure. So, for I have like a really different experience also, I think. I'm in once again Western CS, and I can only speak to my program. So this is roughly what my schedule looks like. It's really blurry, but like it's really, really light. Like I have like a maximum of like an average like 2 classes per day. And then this is like a full schedule. Like I'm taking 5 credits first semester and 5 in the next semester. And this is really different for me in comparison to high school because I went through the IB program and it was like quite rigorous, I would say. So for me, first year university is definitely like a downgrade in terms of academic workload. But on the other side, it also means that you have a lot more time for like recruiting. Even though we don't have a co-op program, like lots of students are doing winter internships online part-time, and it takes a lot of time to network with people, doing coffee chats, going to clubs, socials, all that kind of stuff. And in terms of like day in the life, my earliest classes are 9:30 a.m. So it's like really, really late. And 2 of them are optional. So I technically only have to wake up before 9 a.m. one day out of the week. And in terms of difficulties, I think as a CS major, right now my most difficult course is a business course. So yeah, it really isn't difficult, I think, comparison to my high school personally.
Hey, thank you for that. All right, so before I move on, I have a specific question for Jenny. So for Jenny, how stressful and tight is your schedule for the double degree program? Are you able to choose your courses or are they all assigned to you to fulfill the requisites of the bachelor degrees?
Yeah, so definitely in first years, like at least for 1A, I don't get any electives. And I believe this continues on until like third year, but yeah, there are definitely less room for you to choose courses outside of the requisites for your 2 degrees. In terms of workload, I am still taking only 5 courses, which is the standard, as compared to like I know in engineering they're taking 6 courses right off the bat from term one. But it is, I think there is a higher workload just because your electives that would normally be like bird courses that you select is now like a core business core course. So it's still a lot of work. But other than that, I think it's definitely manageable. And to be honest, I think I have it easier than my engineering friends.
Thank you. Okay, for Adhaya, let's see. What is the biggest misconception about your program?
Mhm. Okay. So I'd answer this question and also just give you another insight because I'm gonna start my third year soon. Um, I feel like Jenny, as you said, you feel it's a bit chill right now. It does stay that way if you sort of keep on track and keep hold of the time you're spending, because the courses are supposed to get difficult. But the if you're well versed with, okay, this is how the assignment structure works, or this is how often you'll have quizzes, and you're good with preparing for them in time, then you'll be good. Like even when difficulty goes above a certain level, you'll still be good. Um, the biggest misconception people have about this course is that the co-op program is really easy and you get jobs right at your doorstep, and you don't really have to. So they feel like Waterloo Co-op means a given internship already, and you don't really have to work too much about it. But I'll break it to you. It's actually not that sweet, because the thing is that I think just now Feihan said that she's in Western, wherein co-op is not like co-op is not included. You can do it if you want to. It's not the same in Waterloo. So we're kind of pissed when the market is not great, because we need the co-op, we need the internship to graduate, and we cannot potentially graduate without five of these co-ops. Um, so yeah, that's a sort of misconception and a lack of information that people have, that it's actually, if the market is bad, I know it's bad for other people who don't get internships, but it's worse for those who are in a co-op program at Waterloo, because you need an internship to graduate. So yeah, that would be my answer.
Thank you. And Samiha, would you also like to answer this question?
Sure. The biggest misconception I would say is how a lot of people don't understand how heavy in math, I guess, CS is a lot of the time. Like, I know some of my friends who are in this program right now, they've dropped calculus and stuff because they were like, they never realized how much math would be in it, because obviously you assume going into the job field and stuff, you wouldn't need as much math. So why would I have to do it in university, right? But it's actually very heavy in math. Like right now, I'm only in first year, but this semester I have three math courses and literally just one coding course, I guess. So yeah, you definitely have to be comfortable with math to get through this program. That's all.
Thank you. I'm gonna pass it on to Kushi now for some more detailed questions regarding computer science and math.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Kushi. So let's get started. The first question is, did doing a math contest or robotics in high school help with your university applications or your courses once you got into university? I'd like to ask this question to Jenny.
Yeah. Okay, so I did mention that Waterloo Math cares a lot about their math contest, but I think I forgot to clarify that like unless you're in the top 100, they mainly just care if you participate because it shows interest. Um, but I definitely think it did help me a lot with my university courses because I think the biggest change for most people in like university math is that there are a lot of proofs, which is basically exactly what you did in math contests. So if you did contests, you have it like easier for you from that transition.
That makes sense. Adia, would you also like to answer this question?
Sure. So I do feel like having a couple of projects under your belt would help. I do regret not having any coding experience at all. So when I went to first year of university, I was looking at the different languages, and I was looking at VS Code for the first time, which was traumatic. So I would recommend you have at least some coding experience. It's not gonna help you straight up, but you just won't feel like this is all unknown territory. You would know what's going on a lot better than those who are doing it for the first time. So, in terms of projects, yes, and in terms of just being aware of what to expect, yes, I do recommend you have some experience in advance. Um, and for math, I think the ground is pretty level, and the math that as Jenny mentioned, it's going to be similar to contest level math. It's going to be a lot proof, a lot linear algebra, which is difficult to cover on your own, unless you're doing specific competitions. So yeah, just I think keep going with your high school level math and be well versed with that, because you should at least know that really well to be able to transition into what they would be teaching.
Yeah, that sounds good. Our next question is, how challenging are first year computer science courses? Is prior experience in programming required, or can you succeed without it? I'd like to ask this question to Fei Hong.
For Western, absolutely not. Like, I have like taken no high school comp sci courses, nor AP CS, nothing of the kind. I tried to learn a little bit of like JavaScript over the summer and I failed miserably. But I would say like I'm doing pretty well right now. We're learning Python in comp sci 1026, and next semester we have some Java in 1027. So at the beginning of the year, our professors also made it really, really clear that like for Western only CS. You do not need any like high school credit in terms of CS. Yeah, you need some good sense of logic and math, I guess, but in terms of like knowledge in CS, not really. Um, and interesting thing about Western CS is that a lot of people are doing CS not for the CS, but rather to go into finance in the future, and they just want these skills set like Python to like and HTML etc. to put on their resume to be like able to use it, apply it to like financial modeling in the future. So that's something that's unique.
That sounds good. Samiha, would you also like to answer this question?
Okay, well, for UFTCS, they advertise the first year program as like a beginner friendly program, but I would say they do go pretty fast. So I do have prior coding experience from high school, and I've also been struggling a bit, but I have friends who have no coding experience that are struggling quite a lot just because of the pace. They go pretty fast compared to high school courses. They're usually much more thorough with it. So if you could, I would suggest take a high school course for it, but like it is an introductory course, so it's not the end of the world if you like didn't take it, I guess. But yeah, it's fast sometimes.
That makes sense. Um, how do I leverage my knowledge in math as a ninth grader? So this is open to anyone who'd like to answer that.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes. How do I leverage my knowledge in math as a ninth grader?
Ninth grade was kind of a long time ago. Let me think. I think I got involved within my school's math club pretty early, I would say. And it's not really like what I learned from the club itself. It's rather that like surrounding with people who like math, CS, and then also the STEM fields, I think. And they would like sign up for contests. They have their own prep groups for contests, math contests, etc. And then you sort of just um I don't know, like also adapt the habit of going to contests, challenging yourself in difficult math contests, and also opportunities to learn ahead of time for to prepare for high school courses to get those good grades that will get you into the uni program that you want to. So I would say if you think you are interested in math or computer science early on, definitely find those communities either within your high school, or if not, then something outside of high school like this program, which is great. So I think leveraging these resources, get yourself a community is really good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Would anyone else like to add on to this question?
I can talk about Waterloo. So Waterloo really gives credit to if you've given the contests, like there's some Waterloo specific contents like Euclid, Gauss, all of those. So you could utilize this time to prepare for those contests. I won't say they're very easy. Like you need to get a hang of the kind of questions they put in. So yeah, definitely utilize this time to look at those, and also AP courses if you would like to, because um, if you have AP credits, you might be able to use those credits and you wouldn't have to do the corresponding courses in your first year at university. So some people do that too, so that they can finish university earlier or they can take other courses or it just saves time in general. So research about that, you can also talk to the Waterloo advisor or counselor, like admissions counselor, and they could help you with what AP courses you can focus on. And yeah, those credits might help.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so for our next question, what sort of projects have you completed in your university career thus far? Jenny, would you like to answer this question?
In terms of project, I don't think like university wise I've really done any because to start off, computer science is like more theoretical than SE because I know they're already learning what was they learning? I don't remember, but they were learning something that's actually useful. We're learning Racket, which nobody really uses. But outside of school, I am currently working on creating like websites, but if I'm being honest, I'm slacking off because yeah, I'm just slacking off. But yeah.
Is there like a specific language that you'd want to make projects on?
Mm, as of now, I'm not sure. I'm still exploring.
That's okay. Samiha, would you also like to answer this question?
Well, right now it's only been like 2 months for me. So I haven't done much other than like my intro to programming class. We're doing Python. Most of it's just like the basics, like with if statements, for loops, that stuff. But I guess like outside of uni, I've been trying to like do stuff with AI, I guess, but like yeah, I'm also slacking off generally just because I'm having a hard time balancing uni and like my own stuff right now. So yeah, that's all.
That's okay. Um, do you have any tips to balance work life and school life?
Um, Well, the biggest thing for me, because right now I have like a job outside of uni as well as uni work, right? And also like you want to have free time for yourself, mental health, right? The biggest thing is that whenever you have like a time between classes, for example, to try to get like something done, or if you're stuck on something, try to get help like immediately instead of sitting with it for hours because oftentimes you're just wasting time, right? So yeah, the biggest thing is just time management in general and just trying to get stuff done and don't procrastinate. Yeah.
Yeah, those are some really good tips. Okay, moving on to our next question. What are some potential career pathways in your field, and what could be their expected salaries? Um, Feihan, would you like to answer this question?
Yeah, so I'm actually one of those people I mentioned earlier who's doing CS not only for CS, but rather to use it as a jumping board, like a technological background to give me like a head start with peers within the field of finance. So as you probably heard, this Ivy School of Business, this is where I want to attend in third and fourth year. But I will pursue a dual degree with ComSci, which means it's fifth year with ComSci. So essentially what I'm looking for in terms of career is I'm currently applying for internships, summer internships in investment banking. So this will look like firms like TD Securities, RBC. I'm looking at wealth management as well, and also venture capital. So actually, what I didn't know before is that these fields are really heavily prefer students with a background in programming. So if you've done like say either projects in high school or you have like background in CS in university, these are like really advantageous. And I think essentially what they're looking for is not only technical background, but also interest in the tech market industry. Whether or not you're following with trends, what are the most recent technologies that are being preferred by businesses, what models of like say AI and machine learning. Are you interested in these? Are you knowledgeable? Are you actively learning? I think that's a lot of things that recruiters are looking for. Okay, in terms of expected salary, for internship, I'm not really sure because lots of them are actually unpaid. Like winter internship, lots of them are unpaid. This would look like search fund, like business analyst roles. And in terms of summer, I think you get paid like 38-ish, I think dollars. This is for TD. I'm not sure about other banks. And for full-time analysts, I know it's 75 to 95K base rate plus 25 to 40-ish K bonus for investment banking.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, so before we end off, I'd like to ask one more question to the panelists. Okay, so the question is, if you could switch your major, would you, and why? All right, let's begin with Adia.
Sure. I would. I am actually interested in biotechnology a lot, and that is probably what I'll be doing my master's in. And sometimes CS frustrates me because it's a lot of math and a lot of coding and no bio at all. Any bio I can take can only be in like electives, and I don't like that. So I would change it to biotechnology. Yeah, only because I sometimes get pissed at CS.
Thank you. All right. Feihan, would you also like to answer?
Yeah, so when I applied to Western, I actually went for two programs. One of them is financial modeling, the other one is CS. I got both, and I eventually chose CS because I honestly think it's actually really valuable skills to have in the first place. Like even just first and second year CS, you already learn a lot. Like compared to say like a BMOS major, like a business major. Um, I think you would definitely get a head start in terms of technological skills, programming that is definitely going to help with recruiting, I think, which is what is essentially will is a measurement of success, I think. And in terms of other things, I think it does require lots of math skills, which I think I'm capable of. Um, and I think it's a good combination to have with a business degree from Ivy. And so yeah, I don't regret it.
Okay, thank you. All right. Samiha, would you like to answer next?
Okay, honestly, I don't think I would switch, but there is a part of me that kind of wished I chose my offer for computer engineering instead, for U of T, just because um, based on what I've heard, a lot of what computer engineering does is obviously like hardware based, but it does also cover a lot of things in CS, at least like the U of T program, and it generally like broadens or like widens how much you're able to do once you graduate because there's like the software and the hardware aspect. However, I did get intimidated by how full their schedules looked. So I didn't end up doing it. But honestly, like if you have good time management, like you could consider it. Like, I mean, I would. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And Jenny, would you like to go for this question?
Sure. So, actually, I have the choice of switching my major like right now, and because I'm part of the double degree, but it's like really easy for us to drop down to just one degree, and um, it's kind of like the culture here to like wonder every day whether or not they should switch or drop down to one degree. For now, I still want to stay in the double degree, but maybe one day I'll consider dropping down to just CS.
All right, thank you for that answer. Okay, so we are going to be going back to the main panel very soon. So if anyone has any last remarks, please send them in the chat. Otherwise, our panelists, if you'd like to drop down your contacts in the chat, that would be great. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come and speak to us about these like really important matters.